Elizabeth Brown stepped into the glittering halls of the Vintaggio estate in Napa Valley, California, on May 12, 2024, her tailored navy suit a sharp contrast to the ostentatious chandeliers above. As the CEO of a trailblazing tech company, she carried the weight of a $480 million partnership deal with the prestigious John family, a dynasty steeped in old money and a sprawling luxury empire. Her presence was magnetic yet poised, every step echoing with the quiet confidence of a woman who had shattered glass ceilings to reach this moment. Tonight was meant to seal the deal, a personal dinner insisted upon by the John family's lawyer to celebrate their alliance. But as Elizabeth crossed the threshold of the grand ballroom, a chill hung in the air, like the calm before a storm. The atmosphere shifted the moment she entered. Whispers slithered through the crowd, sharp and cutting, like knives hidden in silk. A woman adorned in pearls locked eyes with Elizabeth, her gaze narrowing before she let out a derisive scoff. The room's murmurs grew louder, a crescendo of judgment. Then, in a moment that froze time, Benson John Jr., the brash heir to the John Empire, raised a champagne flute, his lips curling into a smirk. "Did someone let the help in early?" he sneered, his voice slicing through the room. The crowd erupted in uneasy laughter, each chuckle a dagger to Elizabeth's pride. She stood rooted, her heart pounding with humiliation, yet her face remained a mask of composure. Not a single soul intervened, not even Benson Sr., the family patriarch, who sat stone-faced at the head of the table. Swallowing the sting, Elizabeth offered a polite smile, excused herself with grace, and slipped out of the ballroom before the dessert course, her heels echoing in the silence of her retreat. What would she do next? The answer would shake the corporate world. The news of Benson Jr.'s insult spread like wildfire through corporate circles by May 13, 2024. Some dismissed it as a misstep, a tasteless joke gone awry, but for Elizabeth, it was a wound all too familiar. She had clawed her way through biases, boardroom battles, and systemic barriers her entire career. She wasn't just a CEO, she was a beacon for those who had been silenced, overlooked, or belittled. The John family sent a perfunctory apology through their legal team. No phone call, no trace of sincerity. Behind their gilded walls, they assumed she'd swallow her pride. After all, $480 million was at stake. But Elizabeth's values were non-negotiable. Alone in her office, she pored over the contract's terms, cross-checked her obligations, and reached for her phone, not to beg or barter, but to ignite a reckoning. Within 24 hours, on May 14, 2024, Elizabeth summoned a press conference and informed her board of a decision that would send shockwaves through the industry. She was walking away from the John family deal. Standing behind a podium in a sleek cream blazer, her eyes burned with resolve, cameras flashing like lightning in a storm. "When dignity is denied," she declared, her voice steady yet laced with the fire of a lifetime's trials, "no amount of money can justify silence. I am formally withdrawing from the John partnership, effective immediately." The room exploded with questions. Financial analysts were dumbfounded. How could she abandon a $480 million opportunity? But Elizabeth held a secret the public didn't know. Her company had already caught the eye of two other firms, both inclusive, progressive, and eager to partner. The John deal had been a convenience, not a necessity. The suspense hung heavy. What would the fallout bring? That same night, her PR team unleashed a bombshell. A video clip of the ballroom incident, covertly recorded by a waiter who had witnessed the entire ordeal. The footage spread across the internet like a tidal wave, sparking outrage. By the morning of May 15, 2024, "Respect is priceless" trended nationwide. The John family's empire reeled. Their stock plummeted 17% in a single day, a brutal hit that sent investors fleeing, branding the family as archaic and toxic. Social media campaigns erupted, calling for boycotts of their luxury brands. Celebrities and business leaders rallied behind Elizabeth, their voices amplifying her courage and integrity, their praise a balm to her wounded pride. Inside the Vintaggio estate's iron gates, the John family scrambled. Benson Sr. attempted damage control with a televised apology on May 16, 2024, but his words rang hollow, too late to stem the bleeding. Benson Jr. was suspended from the board, his reputation shredded, his smug confidence reduced to ashes. Meanwhile, Elizabeth's firm was flooded with over a dozen new partnership offers from companies whose leaders didn't need a crash course in respect. She didn't gloat or seek revenge. Instead, she moved forward, her silence a thunderous statement of power. By walking away, she had wielded more influence than any deal could have granted. Weeks later, on June 19, 2024, Elizabeth was invited to speak at a global leadership summit. Her keynote, "The Cost of Dignity," became the event's most watched moment, her words resonating with raw emotion and unyielding strength. She didn't name the Johns, but the room knew exactly who she meant when she declared, "Respect is the true currency in business." Her decision had not only preserved her brand, it had elevated it to new heights. Her stand rippled through boardrooms and universities, a clarion call: success means nothing if it compromises who you are. For every young woman watching, especially women of color, Elizabeth became a lighthouse, not for a dramatic gesture, but for her refusal to let power dim her pride. And somewhere, in a cold, quiet boardroom, the John family watched their empire crumble, not from war or scandal, but from a single, graceful word: no. If this story resonated with you, smash that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe for more real-life stories. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever been judged for your background? I read every single comment. Until next time, remember you are worth more than anyone's opinion of you.